good morning, afternoon, evening, middle of the night, early morning to you. And you, and you.
And you and you. Where's that from?
And you, and you, and you.
Oh,
Adieu.
Yeah, Sound of Music.
So long,
isn't it?
farewell, I'll
Yeah.
be to say adieu.
Yeah. Yeah, and they all go trotting up the stairs. Yeah.
What?
To bed. Don't they go trotting up the stairs to bed?
Yeah, but what they do is they imitate the movements of a Swiss clock.
Yeah.
I know because I was in The Sound of Music when I was 9.
And you played the lead girl, yeah?
Yes, I played Maria. No, I played Friedrich.
Friedrich!
I'm Friedrich, I'm 14 and I'm a boy. Why? You're almost a man.
Yeah, he's only 14, isn't he?
I was 9.
Who's the sort of older one?
No. Liesel is the oldest.
Liesel, and she's
16
going on 17.
God,
Yeah.
Paul, you're
Yeah.
quick, aren't you?
Yeah. I do. I still get that sort of like frisson of fear when they're in the crypt at the end, and you go, "Oh no, don't give them away!" But of course, he does each time. Spoiler alert! If you haven't ever watched The Sound of Music,
He doesn't give them away.
yes, he does.
He goes over and says, "Oh, there's nothing here."
No,
He changes his mind.
the boy she's been in love with, doesn't he? Does he? Oh well, yeah. Have to watch The Sound of Music again. I missed that bit.
Honestly. Anyway, welcome to Sunday Chat. We've got a
Sunday Chat.
We've got a packed show for you today. I do apologise for the lack of glamorous hair today, but it's my CBA kicking in. Oh, Paul, you've had a haircut too.
I've got glamorous hair today.
Yeah, you're taking over this week.
Yeah. Maybe I'll do a bit of pouting. Like that. Yeah.
I don't think so. So let's get on with the show, shall we? So welcome everybody, and welcome to all of you who are subscribed to our channel. And if you don't, please hit subscribe because that would be helpful. Can't speak today. I don't know why.
Oh, you've been speaking quite a lot so far.
No, I keep getting my
words mumbled up.
Welcome to people who follow us on Instagram and other places such as Facebook and our Facebook group, Planet Vegetaria. That's a Facebook group by Original Paul since 2017. That's contractual.
Threads.
X. And of course, Coffee. Our supporters on Coffee. Thank you, bloody thank you to everybody. Let's get the book out to remind us of what we need to talk about.
Well, I think the first thing is
the weather. Always the weather. Richard and Paul's Weather Report. Here on YouTube. Live and exclusive. Not really.
Well, not really live, no. I mean, we're live at the moment, but this isn't live, of course. It's pre-recorded. And it's Friday afternoon for us.
It is.
And it's a rather glorious Friday afternoon.
It is.
Having had a rather damp start to the day.
That's right, Paul.
And that's sort of been like the rest of the week. It's been more sort of grey and dull and drizzle and rain with a few bouts of sunshine. But
what do they say? What do they say? Dull before 9, fine after 11. Yeah.
Is it rain before 7, fine after 11? But do you know why that is?
Yeah, but. In it though. No, but it does. I do find that very often, if it's gonna rain, it's kind of around lunchtime.
Right.
You know, I go to work, it's fine, and then throughout the sort of morning it gets greyer and greyer. That's why I very often take an umbrella, because it's bound to usually rain about 12:30, 1. So what I'm saying is correct. Dull before 9, fine around 12:30, 1. No, rain
The reason being is in the UK it rarely rains more than 4 hours in one go.
Really?
So if you sort of pick any 4-hour segment in the UK, it's unlikely that it's going to be raining for a solid 4 hours. There'll be a sort of gap. So that's why that saying goes. Yeah.
I don't even think it's a thing, but I'm sure there is. I'm sure it is a thing.
It is a thing.
Is it?
It's a 4-hour thing. I just said.
I just make the times up.
Yeah, you do. You do.
So
So he
anyway.
goes down to work in his t-shirt and his sunglasses, and the sun's blaring. And he's got his umbrella there.
Yeah, and very often I'm needing to use it.
Mm.
So who's the one laughing now?
Nobody. Oh, dearie me.
Oh, it's going to
Right.
be one of those
It
days
is, yeah,
today. I
clearly.
do apologise.
Yeah, I'm going to shut up now.
On behalf of everything. Yeah. What was I saying before? Why did I say about CBA? Oh, that was
Oh,
my hair.
yeah.
CBA,
Yeah.
can't be arsed.
Yeah.
So anyway, so today is lovely, but next week, and this is part of my prediction coming true, I think we're in for a bit of a warm week next week.
Oddly enough,
27, 28.
the weather forecasters are saying that as well. Are they following in your forecast?
Yes.
Oh, how nice.
yes.
Thomas Schaffernacker is following you, checking what you're doing with your weather.
I wouldn't mind. He's rather delicious.
He does. He lives,
He does.
like
Locally.
about 5 miles from us or something like
No,
that.
he
Less
lives
than
in
that, isn't it?
Northfields.
Yeah, maybe about 2 miles from us.
And he walks down the canal.
Yeah, he does.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, there we are.
And for those of you who don't know who Thomas Schaffernacker is, he's a weatherman. A young weatherman.
He's getting on now.
He's also an artist.
He is an artist.
As well,
Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't realise that. Yeah.
He paints.
We saw him on a landscape challenge, the Sky Arts programme, and I said to Richard, I didn't know he
That
did
was a while ago
paintings.
though, wasn't it?
Well, we saw it was recorded quite a few years ago, but we saw it only the other day. And you said, "Oh yeah, no, he did.
Well,
He
he
does
sells
paint."
his paintings in that shop in Ealing Broadway for art's sake.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
sells there, I believe.
Not to be confused with For Earth's Sake in Cranley. Yeah, there we are.
So in news this week, our new newsletter. That wasn't a great choice of words.
No,
Our new newsletter is coming out on
Monday.
Monday. We've tried to fill it with some good value for you, with all sorts of little bits and pieces.
Yeah, just little bits.
Little
and
bits and
pieces.
pieces
Yeah.
for your delectation. I do like that word.
Yeah, you've used that twice so
Delectation.
far. Yeah.
I haven't.
What did you use before?
I don't know.
Oh, maybe not. So if you want to sign up for that, go to richardandpaul.com/mailing list and you'll be able to fill in that form. I know a few people have had some difficulty filling it in.
Oh.
If you have some difficulty, just drop us an email. The email is below and we'll add you. Just say you want to be added and we'll do that. Yeah. And so far we've had over 250 people signing up.
Thank
So
you.
that's rather nice.
Thank you, Blair.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Everybody. It's lovely. And we're hoping that we'll give you a little glimpse into things and maybe a little reminder of videos to watch, interesting bits and pieces, and a little message from us. Is it going to be monthly, did you say, Paul?
Monthly, and I think
Good.
we're going to aim for the first. It won't be the first of the month because that would be today, but it's going to be around the first Friday or Monday of the month.
So the first
So-
weekend of the month.
Yeah, around that. Yeah, so that's where we'll be. Yeah.
Cool. And other news as well. Many of you have. Many of you have asked us over the years about merchandise. I'm recently re-looking into providing a small amount of merchandise of the Richard and Paul variety.
There we are.
So look out for that. I'll let you know. I'm doing a little bit of work on that at the moment. Thank you. Also, in further news, many of you have asked us about doing some kind of book club.
Yes.
We're not sure we're going to do a book club.
We're not going to do a book club.
But what we're looking at is a sort of read along with Richard and Paul.
Richard and Paul's
Richard
read
and
along.
Paul's read along. Along Richard and Paul read.
Read along.
Richard and Paul
Read along
along.
Richard and Paul. Yeah.
Whichever way you want to say it or do it, that's what we're looking at.
So there'll be a book from him and a book from me, which I'll find quite easy because I read several books a month. You might find quite challenging because you sort of sometimes read a book a year, don't you?
I tend to dip into textbooks and books with pictures. That's my preference.
So we're going to do some picture books and some fiction and some non-fiction, a few comics. Who knows? Who knows?
The way in which we envisage this occurring, Paul, I'm going to slap in a minute, is a sort of introductory video with a couple of books, and then following it a month later with a live video to discuss with you the books in question and sort of discuss, and also we would look for you to make recommendations of books maybe that you'd like us to read or that you think we'd enjoy, and we can include those as well. So quite a number of you have sort of said you'd quite like this, so we're looking into that as well. We did say we would look at new options and new ideas for this coming season. And we're staying true to our promise.
And what we ideally, it would be lovely if those books were available through libraries.
Yeah.
So
in
that
the UK,
anyone can get them either as an audio book online or as a physical book, or to read on a device. Yeah.
And there we are. So that's all the new news.
Yes, lots.
For the new week.
Yeah.
Let's move on. What was that? Did you just move your leg, or were you trying to tell me something secretly, Paul?
I was trying to tell you something secretly,
What?
Richard. I don't think we set an Alexa alarm.
Oh well. I better stop the tape and
Restart.
So there we are. We're now safely under Alexa's control. So Paul, what has the working week been like for you?
It's been sort of like really the same as usual. But there was a bit of a sort of glitch. One of the people that works with Vanessa was having a long weekend in Budapest. So with all Catty!
Little Catty.
Catty!
Hello,
Hello!
Hello.
You can't hear us because the window's not open. It's a lovely one. Yeah, it's absolutely lovely. So yes, with the breakdown of the airline network in the UK,
air traffic control
system, this person was stuck. So I had to do various work from my desk here with Vanessa on Tuesday that other person would generally be doing. But that was fun. It's something different. That's always good. I was going to be going down to see Vanessa on Friday, but I think it's going to be sort of next week or the week after now. It's been quite a good week, and I've been doing a bit more writing as well, which is good. So yeah, that's been my week. How has your week been, Richard?
Well, I worked Tuesday because it was Bank Holiday Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday this week. Today's Friday. Obviously, I'm not at work. It was okay. It was quiet in places because I think there are still quite a few people away. But I think next week is going to be quite busy.
Yeah.
because people will be starting to go back to college. A lot of our younger people go to college and rely on transport. For those of you who don't know, I work for Learning Disabilities, our local team. And of course, transport has to be provided, and, very often people haven't heard back from colleges, or because, very often they're not in.
There's dots and people that need to be joined up, doesn't there?
Yeah, so it can be quite busy the sort of first week in September with inquiries and things that have yet to be sorted out for people, and arrangements need to be made. So there's a lot of liaison that goes on between me and the social work team. But this week has been, it's been okay. I've had some neck and shoulder issues this week. Quite stiff. I know, it's been quite painful actually. I've had it before. It's probably too much computer work.
Yeah, I get that. If I don't get up enough from my desk and go around and do things, I get that.
Yeah, and tension, I think, as well, and a little bit of stress perhaps. But it's okay, it's manageable, and in fact I might take a little bit of paracetamol later.
What, just a little bit?
Just a little bit, just to take the edge off. Maybe even a cocodamol for a treat. Yeah.
Because next week in England, I'm not sure about the other countries of the UK, but in England most of the schools go back next week. I know in Scotland they went back several weeks ago. They have sort of very different term times. Yeah.
Several weeks ago?
Yeah, several weeks ago.
So they go back during August?
I think they break up in June and they go back in August. I think it's something like that. Or they have maybe longer at Christmas. I'm not sure, because they have that New Year as well, don't they? They have their New Year. So yeah, and I think it's going to be. I think that there's going to be quite. When we were out today, it was quite quiet. We'll come on to being out today a bit later, but I think next week everything's going to be sort of getting back to normal. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me the working week was tense in places because I had a few quite annoyed parents on the phone about a few issues. One person shouted at me quite strongly. What's that noise?
Somebody's got a car door open, I think.
So I think that, around this time of year,
tensions are high.
In terms of people getting back into routine with school and college and stuff like that. And I think also a lot of parents have been having their adult children at home or gone on holiday with them, things like that, which of course can throw up some issues around care.
Yeah.
So it was challenging in places, but quiet in places, the usual. I'm back to a almost full week next week.
Right.
And I'm very grateful for the extra hours.
Yeah.
And
I think they're also very grateful for you doing the extra hours as well, aren't they? So that's good.
Well,
it's good,
I mean, I don't like to blow my own trumpet, but I am good at what I do.
Yeah. Well, you're valued, and that's
because
good.
I've been there a long time. I know the business. So, you simply... And also, I have the service users' needs as my priority. So I am on the customer's side. That's how I work. And actually, it gives me pleasure to be able to sort out the problems that occur. Well, I say sort out, ensure that the people who are supposed to sort out the issues are on it. So what I tend to do is do a bit of advocacy for the callers and try and put their point of view across as succinctly as I can, whilst adding a little bit of the emotion that's involved in the conversation that I have with them. So if somebody is feeling tearful, I will put that in the message.
So
you know?
it sort of gives a different perspective maybe for the caseworker or whatever that is reading that.
Yeah, they can see that it's whatever the situation is causing distress, and it needs to be acted upon. You know,
It's quite.
but unfortunately, most of the issues that I get through to deal with are all of that nature. So you'll find that the social work team very often get bombarded with a series of urgent things that need to be done, and they have to be triaged and prioritised. You know, that's the way it goes. You can't deal with everything straight away. And that's what you come to learn in social care. You can't solve all of the problems for all of the people
Just
now.
like that. No.
It takes time because you rely on other departments and other people and other processes in order to get something done. You know, it's unnecessarily complex sometimes, I feel.
I received a letter from my the doctor that's in charge of my barracks, the specialist in charge of my barracks, and it always amuses me when you read the letters that you get, or they get sent to your doctor from the specialist, and you get a copy as well. And it sort of says, you know, it starts with, I spoke to a very pleasant 57-year-old man on, you know, so-and-so, called Paul, and blah blah blah, and it was nice to hear that he was at his allotment, and they sort of
They frame it.
Yeah, it's quite interesting.
That's how we do things.
Yeah, because of course then you know that meeting has actually happened, because there are sort of, you know, key things in that link it as well. So yeah, I think it's interesting.
Anywho, let's move on. So, of course, this week saw the supermoon, blue supermoon.
Yeah.
Blue supermoon?
Super blue moon.
Super blue moon. I don't know. In the
blue
sky.
supermoon, wasn't it?
Oh, I don't care.
Yeah.
And it's a blue moon because it's if there's 2 full moons in 1 month, the second is called a blue moon.
Yeah.
Because they come along once in a blue moon.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
there we are. I mean, it happens at least. Well, it usually happens once a year. It will happen once or twice a year, won't it? Because any month that has like the 31st is likely to have a blue moon.
And of course, the nights are drawing in now.
Oh, yes.
Very much so.
Gosh.
So we're racing towards the equinox.
Well, as we sit here today, we're in meteorological autumn today.
Yeah.
1st of September. So, yeah, as you say, we're racing towards the autumn equinox in 3 weeks' time.
Exactly. So I thought I would grab a little tiny bit of footage of the very bright moon. The moon is very difficult to photograph. You actually have to turn the exposure right down in order to capture any details. So on this bit of footage you won't see any detail on the moon, because actually the clouds around the moon were quite interesting. So just have a little bit of this, look at this little bit of footage. Again, getting the words mixed up.
Worms and words.
Roll, run, VT. Roll, run. There you go. Well, this is the supermoon, blue supermoon, just peeking out from behind the clouds. It's rather beautiful. So there we are. That was the supermoon, blue supermoon. Super blue moon.
Blue supermoon. Yeah. So a supermoon is always a full moon, isn't it?
Well, It's
Or is
called-
it? It's closer,
No,
isn't
it's
it?
closer.
That's right.
But,
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's marginally closer. And really, you only get a great view of a big moon when it's low on the horizon,
Yeah.
because you have the comparison with other objects. That's kind of, it fools the eye.
When
you
it's
know.
in the sky and
When
if
it's
there's
right
no
up,
clouds,
it
there's
looks-
no comparison.
Looks very
Yeah.
tiny. So there we are. So Paul and I started our day today with a shopping trip. And we took a few little bits of videos. So here's a short segment of our shopping haul today.
It was more your shopping haul.
It was my shopping haul. I'll tell you all about it when we're in the car on the way to the shops. Run VT, Paul. Good morning. We're in the car and we're going shopping. Yes, shopping. I can't quite believe it. We are, for the first time in probably about 6 years, I think. Do you think, Paul?
5 years.
5, 6 years. What's a year? We're going shopping to Kew Retail Park, where there is a selection of stores, Marks and Spencer's, and for those of you who don't know what that is, it's the sort of upmarket supermarket in the UK, along with ones like Waitrose. But
Well,
there's
it's clothing mainly.
food hall. Hello.
Well, yeah, food hall, but it's clothing. That's what it's.
It's
known
clothing
for.
and homewares.
Underwear.
I'm sorry about the shaky footage, but I don't have a stabilizer on this phone. There's a Marks and Spencer's, there's a Next, which is clothing, there's a TK Maxx, which I think in the US is known as TJ Maxx.
Oh, is it? I didn't know. that.
Yeah, and
Boots.
Boots, which is sort of, you know, a chemist, drugstore. And what else have they got there? Gap, which I don't like.
I used to like that when I was younger.
Yeah, when the clothes would fit you.
Yeah, and also when they were good quality.
Well, these days, Gap and Next make clothes for very small people with tiny waists.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I shall tell them that if I can't find anything.
My waist is like 3 tiny people's waist.
So I need clothes. That's the objective, because
I can't go on.
I can't go on without any clothes.
Because you've lost weight.
Well, I've lost weight, but also we got rid of a lot of stuff. And I need a pair of jeans because my good jeans that I wear a lot for work are about to rip apart and transform themselves to shreds. So I need some t-shirts, I need a jumper, I need a cardigan. And I'm sort of thinking ahead to winter. I would also like some sort of wintry shoes as well. So we're going to have a look. There is an expectation. So the last time we went, I think we sort of walked away without anything
Yeah.
because we couldn't find anything. So I do hope we'll be able to find something, and I'll share with you later what I have bought. Can't speak this morning. It's very early. It's like 9:24, which is
You've usually spoken
rather
to about 10 people by this point.
well at work, yeah,
Yeah.
but not at home on a day off. It's
No.
Friday, by the way. It's Friday. So yeah, so when we kind of get there, I'll show you what it looks like, the retail park. And it's kind of quite nice because it's in Kew, not Kew Gardens, but it's in the town of Kew, which is rather posh. So
Yeah.
it's frequented by posh people. That's why we're going. No, we're not posh. But it's just quite nice. It's plenty of parking and
Mum and Dad used to love it.
yeah,
didn't they?
well, we used to. I mean, we
Yeah.
used to be there all the time, you know, buying stuff
in
but-
our consumer days.
in our consumer days. And as you know, we don't really buy stuff now.
That was a fashion statement from that person.
But I didn't see them, but I do have a little bit of money left from the money that my dad gave me. So that's my budget pot, if you like. Oh, stopping at a red light. Well done, Paul. So, yeah.
Oh, the Thames is low.
So anyway, I'll turn you around and show you a little bit of the journey, but it's a very grey morning. Very grey. So anyway, yeah. So we're sort of approaching Kew Bridge. There's always traffic work here. Look, here's a man with a manual stop sign. That's what they do when they haven't got any lights.
But it's generally better as well.
Yeah, but somebody's got to stand there all day and do that.
That gives that person and the person over there a job.
There's 2 people with manual stop signs. I hope you can see that.
Oh, look, we go.
We're go now. Go, 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 Paul. Go, go, go.
There's a motorbike behind me.
Yeah, I can hear that motorbike behind you. So this area, this is quite a famous old pub. The Express Tavern. It's been there for years. Some of these buildings have been there for years and years. You see them on old photographs. So this is Kew Bridge Road. We're about to go over the Thames once the lights change. Yeah,
Very busy junction.
it is a very busy junction because it leads to Chiswick, which is that way.
Well, it's also
And it also-
inner circular road.
It's part of the North Circular and South Circular Road.
Well, it's the North Circular here and the South Circular in about 200 yards.
Yeah, and it also connects up to the A4 as well, which is a main road, which again is that direction. So it's always very busy here. So yeah. This is Kew Bridge, which goes over the Thames. Lots of traffic, but it's all moving. That's the thing about London. The traffic does tend to move. It might be heavy, but it moves. Wish you could see over that wall because you've got a lovely view, but it's just a bit too high.
Well, of course, this was built when they had horses and carriages.
Yeah,
So you'd be able to see from your carriage as you went over the bridge.
because the carriages would have been larger than a
Higher.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is Kew Green.
Very expensive houses.
Very expensive. Very expensive. Money, you can smell it in the air. And Kew Gardens is over in that direction. Yeah. The Botanist on the Green. Quite a zhuzhy bougie restaurant. We're going to swing round this corner. You've got some lovely old shops
Is
here.
that old bookshop still
Old
there?
bookshop,
Is it?
picture store.
No, the bookshop's
Bookshop's
gone.
got. No, was there ever a bookshop there?
Yeah, it was a lovely bookshop.
And we'll be arriving at the retail park shortly. This is part of the ultra low emission zone, which our car is okay with. We are compliant.
Otherwise, you have to pay £15 a day.
£12.50, isn't it?
£12.50.
Yeah. There's a little railway bridge, you see.
Isn't the congestion charge £12.50?
No, it's ULEZ, which is £12.50. Paul.
So what's the congestion charge? 15?
17, isn't it now?
Is it? So if you go into London, you don't have a compliant vehicle. It's sort of like 30 quid almost.
You've got to pay a lot of money. And then we're arriving now at the Kew Retail Park, which is also the site where the National Archive is based as well. There we are. There's the retail park ahead of us.
National Archives down
National
there.
Archive is down there. And here we are at the retail park, nice and early. Plenty of parking spaces.
Yay.
Look, there we go. That's the retail park.
Gorgeously quiet.
Nice big Marks and Spencers. Oh, they've got Sports Direct as well. Won't be going there.
Go in there and get our lycra.
So, well, yes. So, I'm not going to film anymore now. We'll film when we're back at home with our shopping. And I'll show you what I got. There we are. Nice and quiet. Back at home. Back at home. Paul's just made me a lovely coffee. Well, it better be lovely. Let's try it. It's okay. So, the whole point of going shopping, as I said earlier, in the car, is because I need a few t-shirts, I need a jumper, I need a cardigan, potentially some winter shoes, socks, undies, things like that. So let's show you what I got. Wasn't completely successful, but hey, I can buy anything else that I need online. Let's have a look. Marks and Spencer's first. No, Boots first. Went to Boots. Deodorant. Treated myself to some Lynx body spray because I like my nice smells, but I'm not prepared to spend 80 or 90 quid on cologne when I can get it when we go to Guernsey duty free. So I thought I'd try a little Lynx, because Lynx are quite nice actually, but I've not tried this smell. It's called Black. Frozen pear and cedarwood. Let's try it. Because I don't have testers either, which is silly. Oh, I can't even press the button. Huh? How does it work? Oh, there we are. Yeah, it's quite nice, slightly chemically. But no, that's fine. Just as a little body spray, so you turn it. Okay. Lovely. I think I'm allergic already. Some batteries for one of our smoke alarms. Paul's coughing next door. It's probably the smell. Some Imperial leather soap. Gentle care. Because we needed soap. Right, Marks and Spencer's. Pack of undies. Now, size-wise, it's quite difficult at the moment because you never know what's accurate in terms of waist sizes. They vary wildly between brands. So these are a large, which are for me. And I said to Paul, you can try these. If they're too small, we'll get you some more. Yeah. 2 pairs of these little gorgeous slipper socks, which are fleecy lined, size 9 to 12. We're 10.5 and 11. They've got little grippy things on them, so they're quite nice for winter. 2 pairs of those. And 2 pairs of thick socks. And that's it. Paul, how much did we spend at Marks? £6,000. £6,000. No, how much was it? 71 that came to. So relatively expensive, but in our experience, Marks and Spencer's underwear, whilst not being terribly supportive, does last quite a long time, as we are living proof. I'm wearing a Marks and Spencer's set now. They're falling apart, which is why we needed new underwear, but hey, so there we are. £71 worth of goods. We're also sort of prepping for winter because we need cosy things for the feet. And of course underwear is essential for winter to keep things warm down below. So that's that. we popped into a little bargain shop, which is a new shop which has sort of popped up full of plastic tat. But Paul needed some replacement Tupperware. So he bought some Tupperware. I think they were £1 each. And he bought 4 of those. So that's lovely, not particularly glamorous. But there you go. Was it only 4 you bought of that? Oh no, 5. 5 of those. Lovely. Right, TK Maxx. Now, the good thing about TK Maxx, I don't know what TJ Maxx is like in the States, but the good thing about TK Maxx is you can find things that are slightly different, a little bit unusual, design-wise. There wasn't a great selection, to be honest, so I did buy a few t-shirts. Let me just have some more coffee. Yeah. So, let's have a little look. A nice super large t-shirt with a nice, I like sort of necks that look as though the garment's been cut. I kind of like that. So that's kind of nice sort of autumny colour. A nice jumper, which is acrylic and polyester. I don't really buy wool things because I find, I don't know, they shrink and all of that. All my jumpers that I tend to buy are usually cotton and acrylic. This is nice and stretchy, it's quite big, so I'm looking forward to wearing that. Some more thick socks, Green Treat recycled yarns. That's nice. I'll tell you the whole price of everything at the end. These t-shirts generally range between $9.99 and $16.99. That's a little camouflage t-shirt, again with a sort of rough neck, which I like. That looks like it's just about going to fit me. I don't try all these things on, I only try trousers on in the store. Another t-shirt, which is a nice autumnal colour. Again, with that rough neck. Quite long. I like a long t-shirt. More socks. We always need nice thick socks, although those aren't that thick, Paul. Urban Trail boot socks. They're not that thick, but hey ho. And what else have we got? Oh yeah. Pair of grey pants, which I did try on in the store. I picked out 2 pairs of pants, and one pair was slightly too short. I'm a 34 leg, inside leg. My waist kind of 34, 36, depending on the size. These are a 34, but they've got quite a stretch to them. And they're quite comfortable, but they're sort of for work. Something for winter. And it's quite comfortable cotton with an elastane stretch. And these are actually a 34. That's a bigger waist than a 34, definitely, because they're not that snug, but I tend to wear a belt anyway. So I'm quite pleased with those. The other pair I couldn't take because they were too short. And then I think this is the final item. I was going to buy a cardigan, but I couldn't see a cardigan that I liked. And then I saw these bathrobes, dressing gowns, bathrobes, in fleece, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to buy that and I'm going to use it as a house coat. I tried it on in the store and it fit me perfectly. So it is a hooded bathrobe with sort of that lovely warm plush fleecy material. It's Tokyo Laundry, that's the make, which are quite good. They're quite well made garments. And yeah, I thought I could wear this around the house. There we are. It's got a belt. House coat. Remember house coats, people? And that's it. That's it. Now that lot came to 110.22. And the most expensive item was the trousers at 24.99. The other things were 19.99, 5.99, 16.99, 12.99, 9.99, 12.99, a couple of other smaller items. That's it. So I'm quite pleased with that. Yeah, now I just need to wash everything, which I'll have to do. I can't wash anything today because we've got viewings tomorrow. So wash day is now Sunday, Saturday afternoon, Sunday. So I shall bag all this up, drink my coffee, and then start some housework. I'm not sure what time is it. It is, I mean. Alexa, what's the time?
The time is 11:32 a.m.
So we were out by 9:25, it's now 11:30. Yeah, the day is moving quickly, and it rained quite heavily when we were in TK Maxx, so it felt quite sultry when we came out. Next week, I believe, is getting warm again. 26, 27 is forecast, so that's good, because today it feels on the cool side, as did yesterday, so hey ho, c'est la vie. Thanks very much for watching the little shopping haul. First shop in 6 years. Yeah. Take care, toodle pip, au revoir. Bye for now. So yeah, that was really our first trip out to Kew for a long, long time.
Yeah, I mean...
Long time.
Yeah, very, very long time.
But you know what? I felt it was just like getting back on a horse.
Did you?
Yes, I did. I was very much in the swing of going through the racks at TK Maxx.
Oh yeah, you were. You were.
I remembered how it used to be.
I thought it was very interesting when we went into Marks and Spencer's. They've lowered all of their displays so you can clearly see across the store. Because they used to have a lot of things on top of displays, you know, banners and things like that. And you'd go in and you'd feel a little bit boxed and sort of wondering where things are. But today, when you went in, none of those were there, and you could literally see right across the store at head height, which made it look an awful lot bigger. And it also looked less claustrophobic, which I thought was interesting. When we went into TK Maxx, I thought they'd taken a few, maybe one line of racks out to give a bit extra space as well.
I don't know, but anyway, that was shopping. You've seen it all now. Lovely.
It was interesting though. We had a lovely chat with the lady at Marks and Spencer's getting our underwear. We made her laugh, which was lovely.
Well, all the staff were very pleasant in all the shops.
They were.
Actually.
Absolutely.
And that woman in boots is still there.
I know, I noticed her. Yeah.
She must have been working there for years.
I mean, we've been going there, well, we haven't been for a long time, but had been going for maybe 15, 18 years, something like that. So, she's been there all that time.
Super duper. House update. It's a very small update. We have had an offer, but it's a little bit too low.
Yeah.
So we are sort of in that backwards and forwards thing at the moment with the estate agent. We're not accepting that offer. But we've got more viewings tomorrow. We've got 3 more tomorrow, haven't we?
We've got 3 more, yeah.
So...
one is a second viewing as well.
So we're going to allow that one to happen, and then we'll make some decisions.
Yeah. So, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted, but we're not getting too overly excited about that just yet. Because,
who knows what will happen? Yeah.
Who can predict the future? Not me. Little update.
Nostradamus.
Oh, really, hardly. I mean, those little poems could have meant anything, couldn't they?
Yeah, they could.
Alexa, please stop. I need some of my water.
Oh, I've had some of mine.
Yeah, I feel a bit dry.
So, a brief update on Mum. I've spoken to Mum a couple of times this week, and a couple of times that I've called her, she's been asleep. So, I spoke to the care home manager the other day, and she said that Mum is more tired, not surprisingly, than she was prior to her heart attack. When I have spoken to her, it's certainly been a briefer conversation than I had previously.
And she's also been preoccupied because she's been sitting in the TV room with other people, so she probably feels as though she can't talk at length to you.
Yeah, so I think what's happening is Mum, after lunch, Mum is having a nap or going into the communal room and being in there longer, and maybe having a nap in there rather than going into her room. So I need to sort of reschedule what time I call Mum, because I think it's going to be better to call her in the morning before lunch than call in the afternoon. So we'll see. I mean, it is, I choked up today talking to Mum, because she's not, it's not the conversation that we were having 4 weeks ago, and therefore you sort of feel there's that other step, like we were talking about when we said that Mum had the heart attack. It was like another stage in her life, and I think now that she's back at the care home, there's a further stage that we've entered now. So it's a bit heartbreaking, but it is what it is. Mum, it is what it is.
You can't. I mean, this is the thing. You can't. You can't escape the emotional impact.
No.
Of these things when they happen. You can't escape that, and neither should you, because
absolutely
it does have an impact, but this is how it is. People get old and get sick and die. Unfortunately, and you go through the motions and life carries on.
It does.
So
as many of you know, I mean, people have shared this, on Planet Vegetaria, it's a process and stages that we all go through.
And it is emotional, and it is difficult as well. It's difficult to feel those things. But we have to. We do. It's all part of being human. I mean, obviously, getting to grips with the cycle of life takes time. And I don't think you ever really get to grips with saying goodbye to people, but in my experience, you become a little bit more philosophical about things, and also you try and minimise the amount of time you spend in grief. Because after a certain point, it just becomes a bit of a time waster. In my experience, but you have to sort of try your best to feel what you need to feel, and minimise the time that you do that in. And of course, it helps if you have somebody else to say, "Come on, come on, let's have a cup of tea and let's go out for a walk, or let's watch something funny on TV, which is what we have done.
Many times. As we've said before, sort of Golden Girls, things like that, have seen us through quite challenging times.
And it's about a little bit of distraction can go a long way. You're not avoiding the emotion, because you're going to feel it anyway. And even if you're laughing at something on TV, you can find yourself crying in the middle of it as well. And that's okay. Nobody's judging anybody. But I think it's healthy. I mean, I don't know about you, but I know when I've really gone for it, probably when we lost one of the cats, or all of the cats, I just carried on crying and crying and cried and felt as though I couldn't stop. And you just begin to feel completely and utterly exhausted and drained and
washed out,
headachy, just feeling as though you want to just crawl into a corner and give up. But at some point you make that decision to shake yourself down and splash your face and try and do something else.
Yeah, I don't like the term shake yourself down or pull yourself together, things like that.
I didn't say that.
You did. You said
I
shake
said shake yourself down. I think
but
it's a little bit different.
Splash water on your face and make a choice to
do something
else. Yeah, I like that. Splash water on your face and make a choice to do something else. I like that. But we also had a lovely family interlude this week as well, didn't we?
We did. Moving on to a nicer subject, I had a surprise visit from my niece, Sophie.
Was it just you who had the visit?
Well, she's my niece.
My niece as
So
well.
she is your
for
niece
30
as well.
years.
My blood niece.
My non-blood
Yeah.
niece.
So Sophie is an artist. I've shared her website before. Her website is Sophie Stock Art. That's Sophie spelt with a Phie. And she was doing she's a pet portrait artist mainly. That's how she makes her living. And she's an excellent portrait artist. So check out her work. She's on Instagram, Facebook, she's got a website. And she was coming down to do an event at King's Cross and asked if she could stay over.
It was International Dog Day or something, wasn't it? Or National Dog Day. It was something like that, and she was down for that.
I think the event was called The Big Woof.
Right,
I think.
right.
And she came over to stay, and we had a super evening together, which was lovely. So check out her website. We'll put a link in below.
But if you just Google Sophie Stock Art with a PH, then you'll find it.
You will find her. But I just wanted to share these cards which I purchased from her, which I think are only available at events. I don't think you can buy them on the website. But these are from a collection that she did of cats. It's called the Blobcat Collection. Can you just check whether there are any reflections, Paul?
No, I don't think so. I can see that.
And these are lovely. I think they're so cute.
She is great.
And these are sort of, these aren't the sort of photorealistic sketches that she does, obviously. No. She does other type sketches too.
She's a very talented
Very talented. I love that one.
Mm.
I think that's my favourite. And that one as well. I love all of them. And she also does things like sunsets. That's a sunset which is at Teg's Nose, which is in Macclesfield. So there we go. I wanted to share that with you. We had a lovely time together.
Yeah.
And I believe she's going to be coming down again.
Lovely.
Which is nice. So yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely. So that was a sort of impromptu fun thing, which was nice.
Yeah. Because she had to change her plans because she was coming down and going back by train. And because of the rail strike we had over here, she had to stay overnight. So, yeah that's why we saw her, which was lovely.
We also wanted to say thank you, bloody thank you, to Courtney and Dave for your gift.
Absolutely.
Your very generous gift. Thank you so much. It's very kind of you, as usual.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We've also continued our games evenings by playing Rummy.
Yeah.
But we had a little change around with a friend.
We did. We went down to a friend last night and played Scrabble again.
Yeah.
I posted the first tiles that I got on Planet Vegetaria, and it was a really good evening, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was super. We're going to do cards with her again on another occasion, so that will be fun.
We played 2 games, and I think I won one by miles, and I think you won one by
a small margin.
Default. Yeah.
Default? It wasn't by default, Paul.
It was default because I didn't get the right words. Yeah. But, yeah. And it's really interesting. Our friend is French Canadian, has lived here virtually all of her life since sort of like early 20s, and which is over 50 years. And it's really interesting when we're discussing certain words, and because she'll have something in her head. So we had throwing last night. We went, no, it's throwing. You need an H, and she went, yeah, of course I need an H. It's funny because I'm sure if I was doing that in French, it would be really, really challenging. Absolutely.
For you,
yeah.
maybe.
Well, yeah.
So let's get to the final segment of the show, which is what have we watched on TV this week, Paul?
Well, a few things. Our usuals, Murder, She Wrote, Schitt's Creek, ending our day with Schitt's Creek usually.
We finished series 4 of RuPaul's Drag Race UK, season 4, and we also watched another episode of RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under.
And there's another one that we'll watch this evening.
Yeah,
that's
we're enjoying it very much so. Very much so.
We started Shelter, which is a new thing on Prime, I think it is, and I quite enjoyed it. You thought it was a bit teeny, didn't you?
I found it a little bit young, frankly.
I think it's really odd, me being 57 and you being 39, and you found it a little bit too young, but hey ho, maybe you're old beyond your years, who knows.
We also continued with the series The 70s Supermarket.
Oh yes.
Which was fun. They were talking about mainly obviously foods that you could buy in the supermarkets, and they mentioned several that really rung bells for us. I mean, namely the Vesta curry.
Yeah.
Do you remember Vesta curries? Essentially a dried curry mix.
Yeah.
That you added water to. I do remember having one once, and I do remember it tasting a little bit powdery.
I think we had one once. Mum used to make a lovely sort of English curry, if you see what I mean, with curry spices, but she'd put sort of like strawberry jam in it as well to sweeten it a bit, rather than mango chutney and things like that. And her curries were absolutely delicious. And I remember having a Vesta once. Mum went, I don't think we'll have this again.
Did you eat it though?
Oh yeah, I'll have eaten
it.
I'll have eaten it, absolutely. But I think powdery as well, and salty. And that was another thing that they mentioned, that the salt content of things has reduced over the decades, So I do remember a Vesta curry being very salty.
Yeah.
They're much less so now.
They were also talking about Monster Munch and how the intense flavour of Monster Munch is achieved. They were showing basically dehydrated onions.
Pickled onions.
And how if you dehydrate them,
and then grind
them up and add a little bit of MSG,
monosodium glutamate,
it creates a very, very strong oniony flavour. The other one was sugar puffs as well. How sugar puffs are made, how puffed wheat is made. It's basically like popcorn, isn't it, really?
Well, it is, yeah.
Except
I mean,
wheat.
puffed rice and puffed, you can puff many grains.
Yeah.
Many types of grains, and it is just
I used to love sugar puffs. Loved them. I loved any sugary cereal.
I was going to say, you used to love Crunchy Nut cornflakes, didn't
Crunchy Nut cornflakes, but we didn't have those at home. They were too expensive.
No, but I used to buy
We would have things like the own brand cereals.
Yeah.
But we would put things like golden syrup on our cereal.
Oh, on the not on Crunchy Nut cornflakes.
Well, on anything, basically. We'd always have golden syrup in, and we would have it on toast. We'd have syrup sandwiches, syrup on cereal, don't look like that. Syrup on ready break. Everything had syrup on it.
Goodness
we
gracious
always
me.
had golden syrup. Always.
We always had golden syrup, but it was... What did we
ingredient.
use it for? I think it was an ingredient. I think Perry used to... I think he used to love golden syrup on things actually. My brother, who's no longer with us, he had a really sweet tooth, and I always remember breakfast. He used to love strawberry jam on toast with butter, with Guernsey butter. And he used to get through about like 8 slices.
Alexa, please stop. Have you ever done a genie with a golden syrup tin?
Oh, is that turning it upside down?
I showed you that, didn't I?
Yeah.
You turn it upside down and you leave it. It can only work with a new tin of golden syrup. Leave it upside down and then you quickly open it and take the lid off and a big bubble comes out.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's called the genie of the golden syrup tin, Paul.
Marvellous.
Yeah. There we are.
We used to have black treacle as well.
No,
I think.
did you?
Did you use golden syrup for mixing with cornflakes to make fridge cakes or something?
We used to do Rice Krispie cakes with golden syrup.
Cakes. I think we did cornflakes with them.
We did cornflake cakes with chocolate.
Right.
Cooking chocolate.
Yeah. I don't know what.
Ooh,
I mean, there was always a Tate and Lyle tin of golden syrup and black treacle.
This is not
in
a
the
paid
cupboard.
promotion.
No, not at all.
And the other thing that they were talking about was instant mashed potatoes, smash.
Smash. Yeah.
Which was hugely popular in the 70s due to the drought and the failure of a lot of potato crops.
And the advert.
And the hugely successful advertising campaign. And I said to you, I always used to buy Smash. And I used to use it. I used to eat it regularly. And I actually think it tastes great. And that chef that they tested
Yeah, it was called a Blur Chef.
couldn't get it right. He chose Smash and thought it was potatoes.
Well, no, he said which one he preferred, and it was the Smash.
Exactly.
So the nice thing about the series is there's sort of some faces that you know in it, but Rusty Lee who's a TV chef over here, TV cook, she recreates various ones, like crispy pancakes she did one week, didn't she?
Chicken Kiev,
and she sort of made her own mashed potato with real potatoes and butter and milk, and then she made up the smash as well.
But just before they did that, I said to you I used to add butter and salt and pepper, and it tasted great. And that's exactly what she did. And it did taste great. So I said to you, look at the price and see whether it's still good value nowadays.
It was £3.45 for 12 portions. And knowing the portions of mashed potato, particularly that Richard likes, I think that would be 4 portions rather than 12 portions. Or maybe even 2.
Oh, I used to love instant mash. Oh.
I think it's.
Gorgeous.
I mean, we did do that sort of series, didn't we, a few years ago, where we went through various desserts and things, didn't we? That was quite fun. We
Desserts of our childhood. I'll put a little link on here
Yeah.
if you've not seen it.
Maybe we might do another sort of 70s throwback.
Maybe we should look at instant foods from the 70s and maybe get a Vesta curry and try it out.
I wonder if they do a veggie one.
Well, I'm not going to be eating dried meat.
Well, no, I know, but I'm wondering if they do. I'm sure Fray Bentos was another one, and we used to love Fray Bentos, and I'm sure they do a vegetable one now. So
we'll have to look and see if we can.
We'll look. Yeah.
Spend a little bit of money and have a Fray Bentos veggie pie with instant mash and frozen veg.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Lovely. So I think that's it. Oh, we watched Mission Impossible. I thought you were watching Silence of the Lambs.
I don't know why you thought
Well,
that.
I didn't have the right glasses on, and I saw a woman with dark hair and a man talking to her, so I just thought it was Silence of the Lambs. I'm really not into those movies. It's all too fast.
I like them. I adore them, in fact. I really do like them. Yeah. And I also watched an episode of Jack Reacher. Not Reacher, the other one.
Jack Be Quick?
No, I can't remember now. The one with John Kranowski or whatever.
Jack.
Anyway, I watched another one which I
So
liked, which I might try and remember the title of next week.
Jack Titty
Yeah.
Bum. I don't know. God, these films that you watch for. Anyway, that's it for this
Jack
week.
Ryan! Jack Ryan! Not Reacher, he's the other one, isn't he?
Ryan Schreier.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's it for this week's Sunday Chat.
Sunday Chat!
We do hope you've enjoyed it.
I think it's been quite a long one.
Stay tuned to our channel for new things.
And sign up at richardandpaul.com/mailing list if you'd like to join the mailing
Fill
list.
in the details.
Yeah, fill in your details, press
Yeah.
submit. Yeah.
And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thank you,
all
bloody
of
thank
that.
you. Take care.
Join us
Tulip
on Coffee if you'd like to
Coffee,
donate
Planet
to us. and buy us
Vegetaria,
a
blah, blah,
coffee.
blah.
Bunions and bananas.
Tits and bums.
Yeah, lovely.
So, take care, tout le pip, au revoir.
Bye!